hoax. What a crowd. This is really fantastic to get this many people inside. Air conditioning probably has something to do with this, but at some level a very appropriate day to be talking about the issue of climate action. I'm thrilled to be here. I mean, I owe my public service in part to the movement represented by dozens of people here today. I was a teenager going down to the Connecticut River, helping with some friends to clean up the refuse that polluted that river day after day from boaters and people there on recreation, and thought to myself that I could continue to come down and clean up that river, or I could try to figure out why it was being polluted in the first place. I could go to my town hall and figure out why we were electing people that allowed people to pollute the river, and I started paying attention to who was running for local office that cared about the environment in the same way that I did. All of a sudden, one thing led to another, and you're in the middle of public action. And that's why you're here today, because this is one of those issues in which everybody can do their own part. And we should never ever minimalize the impact that each one of us can have on climate change and on global warming. But the biggest bang for our buck is when we all decide to do it together. And that's why we're here to celebrate the President's actions. I was heartened to sit on the podium at his State of the Union speech right next to Senator Blumenthal and hear him in his historic State of the Union speech tell the world that global warming, climate change was a national security imperative for the country. And I was even more thrilled to hear the President announce his plan centered around executive action, in particular working with our new Administrator Gina McCarthy to crack down on some of the dirtiest power plants currently operating across this country, as well as making sure to have tough new permits on new plants. But listen, the President can only do so much. We're here today to thank President Obama for what he did, but to tell the United States House and the United States Senate that inaction is not an option, that we cannot solve this crisis with President Obama alone. And Congress needs to step up to the plate, cast aside the science deniers, and do something about climate change today. That's what we're doing. Here's the two numbers you need to know. 408. 400 is the parts per million with respect to carbon dioxide levels that we reached this year. That is not the highest level in 3 years, it's not the highest level in 30 years, it's not the highest level in 300 years, in 300,000 years. That is the highest level of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere in 3 million years. And the rate of acceleration is through the roof. There is no explanation other than man-made activities leading to this rapid increase in carbon dioxide levels and to that next number, 8, rapid levels in global temperature change. I've got a 1-year-old and 4-year-old at home. I hope that they get to see the end of this century. At the end of this century, it's estimated the globe is going to be 6 to 8 degrees warmer than it is today if we do nothing. Now, that's a different planet for my kids. New Haven doesn't exist. Bridgeport doesn't exist. New York City doesn't exist if we do nothing. And so our imperative is today, right now, not to wait another second. And I'll just say this. I've been a long supporter of a cap-and-trade bill in Congress that would cap the amount of carbon that this country emits. We are 5% of the world's population and 25% of the world's pollution. That can't sustain. But people say that it'll hurt our economy. Well, we have all the proof that we need right here in Connecticut. With the leadership of people in this room and the leadership of Gina McCarthy, we passed a modest cap-and-trade proposal here in Connecticut with our other partners that will reduce carbon emissions from New England states by 10% over the next several years and has already saved consumers $1 billion. That's a really good deal. Less pollution in the atmosphere, savings for consumers, and that's the prospect ahead of us as well. So I'm just thrilled to be here with so many great partners. The real experts are the ones who will speak after us. The senior senator will do most of the moderation here, but I will introduce my